What is this place?
It's well documented that the history of the video game movie adaptation has been a mixed one to say the least. But with recent hits such as Netflix's Arcane and Castlevania series, as well as a promising looking Super Mario movie on the horizon, we may have finally turned a corner. With a brighter future ahead of us, I've decided to attach 12 directors to 12 dream video game movies and TV shows that I think Hollywood would frankly be foolish to pass on. Sure, most of these games would probably benefit from being left exactly as that, but let's have a bit of fun, shall we? Let's start big, and blockbusters don't get much bigger than when Terminator, Aliens, and Titanic director James Cameron is at the helm. Arguably the best first-person shooter campaign ever created, Titanfall 2 would be an incredible sight to see in his hands. A time travel subplot, one man's heartbreaking relationship to a sentient AI, and a ton of mechs. It has all the hallmarks of a Cameron action movie. We would need him to hurry up and finish the 17 Avatar movies first, but I reckon it would be well worth the wait. Director of both The Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30, Kathryn Bigelow is the master of the modern war movie. Put the already cinematic story of 2007's Modern Warfare in her hands, and we could be looking at something truly special. She's well versed in stories of the darker, more shrouded side of war seen beyond the front lines, and ones where governments don't necessarily have their people's best interests at heart. All gillied up, a standout Call of Duty mission contains all the trademark tension of a Bigelow action sequence, and something I'd love to see on the big screen. Let's scale things down a bit from global conflicts to family ones. What Remains of Edith Finch is the story of a seemingly cursed family told through a variety of beautifully crafted vignettes. Most of all though, it's irrepressibly sad at times. Director Mike Flanagan is largely known for his horror movies and TV shows, and while Edith Finch isn't really a horror game, there's something about this fit that just works. Maybe it's the heart-wrenching family drama at the heart of his Haunting of Hill House adaptation, or the titular house full of character that it all takes place in. But a similarly structured limited series focusing on each member of the Finch family just sounds perfect to me. Also mournful in tone is Team Ico's 2005 masterpiece, Shadow of the Colossus. Probably the first truly cinematic game I remember playing, and one that would translate beautifully onto the big screen. One person's journey through the corridors between life and death is a theme filmmaker David Lowery is no stranger to in his previous films, including A Ghost Story and The Green Knight. He has an eye for marrying majestic spectacle with quiet moments of human emotion, two aspects at the core of Shadow of the Colossus. In truth though, I've been thinking about this combination ever since seeing Dev Patel wandering through the mist before coming face to face with a frankly colossal giant in The Green Knight. Staying in the world of A24, let's give a modern king of horror a story to sink his teeth into. Ari Aster's Hereditary and Midsommar are two horrific tales that certainly stick in the mind of any who have seen them, so why not give him a game that did the same to any who played it? Silent Hill 2 is still as scary as it comes over 20 years later, and Aster's ability to take us to a very unwelcome place, weave in a story of someone's all-encompassing grief, and leave our brains permanently scarred would work a treat.
You may now power on your electronic devices. Weather is mostly cloudy, with a 100% chance of null sector invasion.
It blows my mind that there hasn't already been an Overwatch TV series, especially when you look at how successfully something like Arcane adapted the world of League of Legends. Overwatch is bristling with character, and I can't think of a better match than getting the two Daniels of Daniels fame involved. The phenomenal Everything Everywhere All at Once was a showcase for their eye for inventive action and effects work that would bring Overwatch's heroes and their numerous abilities to life. The film also displayed a warm heart that mirrors what is at the centre of Overwatch, and a delicate touch when navigating a dysfunctional family dynamic. There's also the fact that I've seen one half of the director duo Daniel Kwan tweet about Overwatch on more than one occasion. Let's just get this one done, lads. How organic does the human body have to be considered human? This is the question that not only drives the plot of Deus Ex Human Revolution, but also Denis Villeneuve's stunning cyberpunk sequel, Blade Runner 2049. A perpetually dark world where only the lights of megacorporation towers light the sky and private companies oppress the masses, Deus Ex fundamentally shares so much of its DNA with the world of Blade Runner. Take the visual palette of 2049, slap a whole load more yellow and gold onto it, and throw some of Dune's fight choreography into the mix, and I reckon we're onto a winner here. Picture this, the best fight scenes from the raid, but with a pulsating 80s synth pop score and a load more animal masks. You've just imagined Gareth Evans' Hotline Miami, sprinkling some of Denatong Games' ultra-violent kill rooms with some of Evans' Indonesian action movie inspired choreography would be a prospect to savour. Plus, he already has experience of taking on a video game adaptation of the crime drama Gangs of London, based on the PSP action adventure of the same name. I'm not sure if it would be live action or animated in an attempt to honour the distinct art style of Hotline Miami though, but Gareth's a better filmmaker than me, he can work that bit out. Fun fact, Rockstar Games once produced a film of their own.
I'm just another bored Mal approaching 30 in a dead-end job who lives for the weekend. Casual sex, watered down lager, heavily cut drugs, and occasionally kicking out of someone.
Admittedly, it was the ill-advised Danny Dyer hooliganism vehicle, The Football Factory, but a film nonetheless. That long-held interest in movie making is reflected in their long list of acclaimed games, and Bully is the first of 3 I'd love to see get made. And who better to helm the project than a master of the suburban school drama, Richard Linklater. I'm imagining a fun teenage tapestry with the cliques at Bulworth Academy getting the dazed and confused treatment, with some of the hormonal everybody wants some escapades thrown into the mix. Sounds like a lot of fun to me.
Alright.
Now, he may need a trilogy here in order to tell the whole of Red Dead Redemption 2's sprawling epic, but the temptation to pair my favourite game with my favourite filmmaker was honestly too much to resist. Paul Thomas Anderson has already made a western by proxy with 2007's There Will Be Blood, and you can see a lot of Red Dead in it. Oil money runs through both stories, but it's in its characters that the starkest similarities are to be found. Dutch van der Linde is video game's answer to Daniel Plainview, as he charismatically fools a whole group of people into helping him accrue personal wealth. There's even a small prospectors camp to be found on Red Dead's map called Plainview that bears a striking resemblance to Daniel Day-Lewis's at the start of the film. So you just have to think that Rockstar would be happy to give their blessings to this one. This one writes itself, to be honest. Half of the cast of Mad Men already appeared in LA Noire, so let's get the gang back together and send the TV show's creator Matthew Weiner to 1940s Los Angeles. Mad Men is renowned for its sense of time and place, so there's no one I trust more than Weiner to bring the golden age of Hollywood back to life as a different case is solved each week. The world building and storyline of the open world detective thriller was stellar, but its gameplay did often leave a little to be desired. So maybe television was always meant to be its home after all. Let's just make sure the actors don't replicate every aspect of their facial performances though. Andy Samberg spouting foul-mouthed lyrics from the mouth of PaRappa the Rapper. What more do you want from me? The Lonely Island's pop star Never Stop Never Stopping is one of the more criminally underseen comedies of the decade, with its 21st century spin on the Spinal Tap formula. Now it's the turn of everyone's favourite rapping dog to get the Lonely Island treatment. I don't really know what the plot of the movie will be, I just want to see the dog do some raps. They could even reuse Karate Guy from Popstar for the Chop Chop Master Onion scene.
I like to kick it. I'm a karate guy.
Just an idea, probably a bad one.
Now I'm in 3 cowboy hats. Yeehaw!
Well, those are just some of my dream video game adaptations pitches. What movie or TV show would you love to see? Let me know in the comments below, and for everything else, stick with IGN.